Let's make a light that turns on and off based on the player's location. The first thing we'll need to do is navigate in the content browser to our My Stuff folder, and then in an empty space here we'll right click and then create a new blueprint class, and we want to make an actor. Let's call this light underscore BP. I already did this once, so I'll call it light underscore BP2, and then we'll double click to open this up. And what we need to do here is first of all make a point light component. So we'll just type in, first we click on the add component button, and then we type in point light. And let's see, we want to change a couple things about this. Let's set the intensity to be a bit brighter. So right now it's 5,000, we'll make it 10,000. And under rendering, we want to, where it says visible, let's uncheck this box so that by default the light is turned off. And now we need to add a trigger box that will cause the light to come on and off. So we'll click on the add component button here and then type in box. We want a box collision, and let's just rename this trigger box. And I'm not sure if this is going to matter, but just to be safe, I want to drag this up to be on the default scene route. And we want to attach this to the default scene route. We don't want to make it the new route. Okay. And from here, let's open up the event graph, and we can delete all this stuff. And we want to, when we enter the trigger box, make something happen. So we'll select trigger box, and let's go in here and right click, and we'll open this up. And so we open up add event for trigger box, we open up collision, and we want to add on component begin overlap. And then let's go back and select the trigger box, and again we will right click, we'll click on add event for trigger box, we'll open up the collision menu, and we want to add on component end overlap, so that when we walk away from the dark room, the light turns off. Now, in order for Unreal Engine to know that we, as a VR viewer, are entering the trigger box, we have to find the motion controller. And so let's drag a wire from here, and we will cast to BP motion controller. Cast to BP motion controller. And we want to go from the other actor pin into object. And we'll take this and duplicate it by pressing Control W. We'll move this down. Again, we're going from other actor into object. And now what we need to do is go out from this topmost pin here, and we'll type what is it? Set visibility. And it actually gives us an option here for setting the visibility for the point light. So let's select that one. Set visibility point light. And that should be what we need. Let's take this and press Control W to duplicate all that stuff. And then we'll go from this lower pin into this pin. When the BP motion controller goes into the trigger box, we want to turn the light on. So that means we need to check this box for the new visibility. And then when we leave the trigger box, we want for the program to turn the light off. So we have this unchecked. So this should be correct. Let's test it out. Oh, and in order to test it out, we need to bring this into the level. So we'll drag this in. Let's move it up. And move it back a bit. And you can see that the trigger is actually very small. So there's no way we're going to actually get the light to turn on and off. It'll be too far away from us. So let's, we'll go down and select the trigger box here. And let's set the scale to be 10 by 10 actually. I think that should be big enough to kind of encompass that area there. And let's see what happens. And it works. Let's see if it turns off when we leave. So we'll go out here and look back. And that works too. Good.